Okay, so some of you are having trouble with utilizing the web page. I realize that Brightspace, D2L, whichever one you want to call it, is not as efficient as an online uh, learning management system as some. So we're going to talk you through the different ways to get to the different things that you're going to need to look at. When you log in to your My Courses page, you're going to come up with a page similar to this, which is going to have all of your classes listed for fall of 2021. Our class is this one, Survey of World History 2, Section 4. When you click on that, you're going to get the home page, which has my basic introduction as the first announcement. It has this banner across the top with the different areas that you can click on. Now, some of these are ones that you won't see on yours because this is the teacher structure. For our purposes, though, the two that I want to talk, or the three, I guess I want to talk about the most, are content, assignments, and discussions, because those are the big three we're going to be using. Your homepage looks like this. Depending on where you've been and what you've been doing, you may have part of the content over here under the content browser. I'm going to go ahead and take us to content by way of the banner selection. So when you come to content, and this is what I keep talking about, you're going to see on the left-hand side this set of what I call folders. They list as a table of contents. Each one of these clicks on a particular week. And within that week, there are subfolders. For instance, the most important stuff, which is the first folder. When you click on it, it breaks into subfolders or subcategories. And these are areas that I have put things in so that you can easily locate them, like syllabus and rubrics is going to be this first section. It's got important stuff like what bias and historiography are, critical thinking links, how and when to cite, something you're all definitely going to need to look at if you haven't already. The late policy, which I already sent you, the syllabus itself, and the high points video. It also has the general rubric for the journals and for the discussions, and it has the discussion rubric and explanation for the first discussion, which was due this past Thursday. You may want to review that if you did not look at it prior to discussion one. You may want to look at it because it's going to be similar. All the other discussions are going to be similar, except that now we're going to be moving into using your textbooks as opposed to videos. In this first section, there are also some other subfolders like the one on plagiarism, which I hope I don't have to explain again, but I will if I have to. Primary, secondary, tertiary sources. These are important because from this point forward, you're going to be using primary sources in all of your required journal entries, the first one of which is due in the third week, and there are 5 total. You'll be using a minimum of 2 primary sources. Primary sources are those documents that are written by or created by. They don't have to be a document. They can also be an image. They can be an artifact. They can be pretty much anything that is produced in the time period you're studying by someone who was living through it. They are not something produced today unless your time period is very, very current history. For the purposes of this course, again, we're covering 500 years, so a primary source for the discussion on the world before Columbus would have been something written in Ming or written in Qing China in the 1400s, or a painting or a scroll that was produced in that period by someone who was living in it. Secondary sources are sources written by historians where they take primary sources and use them to support a theory or an argument about the way people lived in that period. You'll be reading some of those as well. Your textbooks, the videos, and most encyclopedias, all of those are what are called tertiary sources. They are collections of information that are used primarily to teach. Most of the things that you see in them are going to be what are called consensus information, things that most historians agree on or are generally willing to accept, literally for the purposes of conveying the ideas to teach, more so than anything else. Maps, you don't have to worry about those as much because we're not doing any maps on the tests for this course. Historiography, a big part of what we're going to be talking about. historiography, the history of how historians view the time periods they're studying, the way that the modern world, the world historians live in, affects the way they view the past. And this is very much a big part of the discussion we'll be having in this class, because the ways we interpret information change markedly now with each generation. It used to be you could look at them in centuries, but now with the speed with which things are changing, with which we're finding new information, with which the internet is making information more accessible to more people all the time, both accurate information and disinformation, ideas change and interpretations of the past change with them. All right, week one, the week we just did, if you click on it, let me get back up here to it. When you click on it, the first thing you get is the introduction, the basic discussion, and in each of these week's introductions, I'm going to have the required readings for that week. Obviously, for the first week, it was all the videos, as well as your recommended sources. There will also be some discussion, as it were, of the big broad ideas of what we're doing. As you scroll down, the next thing you'll see under that is going to be the discussion itself. So the discussion forum, which is due on Thursday, those are going to be immediately after the introduction if you click on that first, when you click on the week itself. Beneath that, other subfolders, primary sources that you may use along with the primary sources in your textbooks, PowerPoints, if you need a quick review of the chapters that you're looking at, or if you're using one book and you want to see what the PowerPoints are for some of the other books. A lot of those are going to be here, as well as some that I have made myself. The Ancient World in Chico Norte I did. Quivira is a video about one of the oldest settlements in the Western Hemisphere, just before the Europeans arrived at Zanoa. Same thing. Things that you could look at. If you click on week 2, the first thing you're going to see is the introduction, as well as, again, your required readings for this coming week. Now, technically, again, the week doesn't begin until Tuesday, so I'm doing this video for you, posting it on Monday, so that you'll have some idea of what we're doing for the following week, even though you should still be doing discussion questions today, answering those, addressing your peer comments for those. Your discussion post, again, you can get to it here. Some other interesting links, the Gunpowder Islamic Empires, which are very important because that's a big part of what we're talking about this week, but also things that are happening in Europe, the 30 Years' War, the Protestant Reformation, other PowerPoints from books, and other videos. Things, in many respects, we refer to this as the general crisis, the 1500s, because so many things are happening so quickly, particularly in Western Europe, which is causing a lot of the changes that we're going to be talking about. All right, so that is your week 2 general outline and what we're doing. Again, though, if you want to just get to the discussions, you can just click on the discussion link, and it's going to take you to the discussions. They will be in order. That's the one we have already done. This would be the one that you're going to be doing this week. All right, if you have any questions about how this operates, how the web page operates, what we're doing, as always, email me. Otherwise, I will see you online today with the follow-up posts, which I will continue to address, and then again by Thursday. Thank you.